What is up, you guys? Alright, this is episode 1 of Life with Max. As you've seen, I've posted my intro on my YouTube, and I did post a vlog. Like I said, we'll be posting more vlogs. But, yeah, so this is episode 1 of the official podcast. So, let's just dive right into it. As you've seen throughout my YouTube, I've talked a bit about my struggles, what I have, what I deal with, and I just want to start out my own personal struggles with mental health, what I have, how it affects me. And so, what I have is a couple different things actually. Agoraphobia. It's obviously the big one that I have and that I struggle with. And like I said, that's the fear of leaving the house. Um, and so, yeah, it's pretty much kept me it's kept me inside since the pretty much since the pandemic. I mean, I was still going out occasionally, doing things, hanging out, but it really started to slow down during the whole pandemic. I mean, I did hold jobs in between the pandemic and oh shit, I'd say it got really bad in the 23. Yeah. So those first couple years after COVID, trying to figure everything out, it didn't get to me too bad, but I noticed it really started to affect me in 23, and I don't exactly know why. I mean, some therapists and family members I've spoken to have pointed out the fact that I did lose my grandmother in 23 to, fuck was it? She died of a stroke. It was pretty bad. She was not in the hospital long before they pronounced her dead. And so some people speculate that that was a tipping point. But yeah, how it affects me day to day. Um, uh, I mean, I don't go outside very often, if at all. I don't go to the store. Can't get my own meds. Can't get my own groceries. And I really just don't have much of a social life. Like my entire social life is pretty much just gaming online with my friends, my girlfriend, other people. And so that's pretty much my social life nowadays. Like I said, I can't go to the pharmacy to grab my meds, can't go to the store. I haven't been in a restaurant in 3 years. Right now, the farthest I've made it is up to our local middle school. And for those of you who know me and kind of know my neighborhood, you know that's a block or two away. So that's about as far as I've gotten on leaving the house. And, I do try. I try to drive every now and then. It used to be every day, but I've kind of hit I don't know, I've hit a standstill. I've just been really depressed, really in my own head about a whole lot, and not necessarily happy. Yeah. And so, more on how it affects me day to day. I mean, it's like I said in I think my vlog. There's days I don't want to get out of bed. And there's days I don't get out of bed. uh, I as disgusting as this is gonna be. Trigger warning, I guess. I can go a week without showering. So self-care, stuff along those lines, take a hit when the agoraphobia mixed with depression and anxiety. And the doctors have tried to diagnose me with bipolar. That one is still an ongoing investigation, in my opinion. But so when you have all of those mixed together, it can make life very difficult. And how I handle it, uh, I do what I can, just like anybody else who's living with this particular issues similar. Pretty much anyone dealing with anything, we deal as best we can. I am I'm a couple years sober. That was not by choice. Not that I ever had a drinking problem, but well, never got too bad. But no, the meds I'm on for my anxieties. One of the side effects is if I drink, I can be prone to seizures. So therefore, I've cut alcohol from my life. And weed, it's so few and far between if I get high. I don't actually remember the last time I got high, so for me, it's not that I necessarily can't turn to substances, because it would be easy, obviously, to stop taking my meds and turn to the bottle. But that's just not something I'm willing to forfeit with how well I've been doing. So the way I handle it is distraction is a big thing for me. So if that's gaming, playing on my phone, getting really into a TV show, TV series, any way I can distract my brain to be like, okay, we're starting to feel this, that, and the other. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to go hop on Fortnite, NHL, Madden, Minecraft, or we're going to turn on Supernatural, South Park, just to name a few. And so, yeah, distraction for me is a big thing in how I handle my anxieties. And the agoraphobia, how I'm handling that is, again, distraction. Try not to think about it. But also, driving, I need to kick myself in the butt and get back to driving every day. So, like I said, I've kind of fallen off from that. And me falling off from doing that, it's not. It's self-sabotage in a way, but it's not, because yeah, I sit on my ass all day every day. And so people are like, you got nothing but time to go drive. Like, go for a drive. Yeah, I'd love to. But that's the anxiety and the depression going. No, you can't. You're gonna fucking fail. You're gonna look like an idiot. You can't. Nope, stay in bed. What are you doing, you fucking loser? And so when all that's running through your head, yeah, makes you not really want to drive. So that's something I've been dealing with for the last couple weeks, which is why I haven't been driving. But like I said, I need to kick myself in the ass and get back to it. And so that is something that's something I work on. Something I've been working on. Therapists tell me, even if it's just getting in the, as simple as this, just going and sitting in the car, because that allows my brain to be like, all right, we're in the car. Even though it's not moving, we're not in the house. We're not in our bed. We are in the car. And so those are some of the things I need to get back to doing. Some of the things I have done to handle the agoraphobia. Like the other day, I went for a walk for the first time in probably a couple of years. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not. I ain't no skinny boy, but I'm also not that fat. Like I don't not walk because I can't. I don't walk because it obviously involves leaving the house and this, that, and the other, along with the agoraphobia, the depression, the anxiety. But I went for a walk the other day. And granted, I didn't get very far, and I did end up having a panic attack. But I now know, okay, this is how far I can go before I start feeling X, Y, and Z. And so I'm also going to try to make it a regular thing where get out, walk, even if it's to even if it's to the end of my street and back a couple times. Because I got to get back into shape. Because one of the things about anxiety and depression, agoraphobia that really sucks is before the pandemic, I was going to the gym every day. I was a gym rat. And then COVID hits and everything shuts down. This disease takes over. And now I'm no longer going to the gym, just not exercising. Went through a breakup. Yeah, so a lot of bad things were happening. And so now I've kind of, I've gained weight. It's obvious. People who know me, people who know what I looked like before and after, notice. I notice. And so I also learned the other day that I learned the other day on my walk that being out of shape does not help anxiety. Because as I was walking, I got to a point where I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm pretty far away from the house. And I'm already starting to, like, feel it. Like, what if I can't make it all the way back to my house? And so I definitely think being out of shape does not help anxiety. And so that's something I need to make a change. And I know what I need to do to make that change. And it's just a matter of doing it. Right now, big thing for me is to as hard as it's gonna be, I gotta cut pop, junk food. I gotta start drinking more water. I gotta start walking. And we do have some stuff around the house here that I can use to exercise. We have an elliptical. Got a sauna. So really anything I can do to get the weight off is what I need to start doing. And it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna suck. But anything worth doing is gonna suck while you're doing it. But the result is I'm gonna be more in shape, be more confident in myself, hopefully. And so yeah. Now, who's been there for me? I gotta shout out my friends. You know, there's guys I may not talk to every day, but I know damn well that if I pick up that phone and call, they will take the time to listen. And there are guys I text every day. Some new friends I've made through other friends who are really cool guys. And so everyone in my life, everyone I care about, knows my situation, knows the limits that I have. So I mean, don't get me wrong, like it still sucks when I'm like, hey, like, what's everyone up to? And they're like, oh, like so and so's going here, and we're going over there. It's like, oh, I mean, that still sucks, but like, I don't expect them to wait around for me to figure my shit out. And so it's a very mutual understanding, a lot of respect, a lot of love. Like, that I know I can't physically be there for people, but all my friends know I would die for them. Like, family does not end in blood. A lot of these guys I consider my brothers, guys I played hockey with, guys I met through school, guys I met through friends of friends. I I would die for all these guys because they have been there since day one. And, going off of that, how others are affected by by my disease. I mentioned quick in there that I went through a breakup. I even still have video up on my YouTube that I think I touch on it. But she made the best decision for her. I can't be mad. I was mad. I was upset. I was sad. Took me, oh God, took me probably a good year and a half to get over it. Um, but yeah, people leave because, like I said, it's just kind of unfair to ask people to put their lives on hold. Um, and so, yeah, uh, she left. She, again, yeah, I look back on it now like a business decision. She made the decision that was going to benefit her future. How can I be mad at that? I can't. And I still have nothing but love and respect for her. Yeah. And the way it affects other people. One of my buddies. This I will forever regret. I missed his wedding. And I've been friends with the kid now for, God, I think we're pushing 8 years. Love him. Love his wife. And like I said, it still pains me to this day that I was not there. Should have been. Should have been, but that's the thing about anxiety and agoraphobia. They don't care. They don't care that there's a world out there. All it cares about is tearing you down. And another thing is, I even missed my own brother's wedding. Just something else that I'm gonna have to live with. And it sucks. It really fucking sucks that I've missed out on some milestones for some people. And that is not something that is reconciled easily either. Um, do I think that my brother or my buddies still harbor resentment, I can't answer that. But I know me and my buddy are in a good place. But I wouldn't blame them one bit. I mean, they know, everyone knows my situation, but that still doesn't erase missing milestones like that in people's lives. And like I said, it sucks letting people down constantly. And they'll tell you to your face, like, oh man, like, don't worry about it, man. Or like, no problem. Or like, one day, man, one day. But in the moment, you're like, I know I let you down. You're not gonna tell me to my face, and you don't need to, because deep down I know that, yeah, the guys would love to go get a game and a beer with me. I can't. Not now, anyway. And so I know other people are affected by me and my disease that I have. I keep calling it a disease because I really don't know what else to call it. I don't want to keep calling it by the official name because it just sounds so official. Yeah. Yep. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of men's distaste for therapy. This is something I've noticed in my own family, that between men and women, not to get not to profile, not to cast judgments, not to upset anybody. This is just what I've noticed. And I've noticed that men, we are least likely to get help. We would, I think I can speak on this as a man. I think we would all rather curl up in a ball, maybe hit a bottle or two, get high, do whatever you need to do to absolutely avoid talking. And I think that's bullshit. I think right here, right now, we need to flip the script. Because the suicide rate in men is too high. It's too high. And like I said, this is stuff I've noticed from my own experiences. Um, not to get into it a whole lot because it's not my journey, it's not my story to tell, but my mother's gotten my father into therapy. But for the longest time, he was very much anti therapy because the way he was raised and everything, again, I'm not going to get into it. It's not my story to tell. It's just what I've noticed, the way he was brought up and the way he was raised. He's one of the guys who I'm talking about. Bottle it up. Push through. Don't show too many emotions. And I joke that he is kind of the Switzerland of our family. The dude does not like conflict. So if there's anything going on between me and my mom, me and my brother and my mom, or just the family in general, he's very much I would say he's our safe space, our middleman. He very much likes to play right here in the center. Okay, you come to me, you come to me. I'll do what I gotta do. We'll figure it out. So he is very much the Switzerland of our family. Very, very neutral. And so, from what I've noticed, that has also rubbed off on my brother. Not the Switzerland part, the distaste for therapy and stuff along those lines. And like I said, it's just something I've noticed about my brother in particular, is I think he takes after my dad in the sense that his distaste for therapy. Not that I've ever had a conversation with my brother. I've never once told my brother, like, hey, I think you could use therapy. Because A, it's not my journey, it's not my business. And B, I kind of think I know how that conversation would go. So I don't think he would listen to me. I don't think it'd be effective. And that's not me calling out my brother by any means. I want to make that very clear. Love the kid, respect the kid. I just know how a conversation about therapy would go. So it's like, why waste the words? And not gonna lie, have had my own personal struggles with being put into therapy at the age I did. First time I saw a therapist, I think I was 15, 14, 15. And that was anger management. That didn't stick. I think I went to that guy twice. But then some stuff happened in 2017. Some stuff leading to, now I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And I don't want to offend anybody. This is just how I process what happened to me. It led to me taking a grippy sock vacation. Again, that's not me trying to underplay the severity of places like those. I think those places are important. I think those places save lives. It's just the way I can talk about it is a grippy sock vacation. And so in 2017, had a break, took a grippy sock vacation. And at that same time, when I did have the mental break, I'll talk on it a bit. I was going through a breakup of my first serious girlfriend. And then one of my very close friends who I played hockey with passed away due to cancer. And so I think I snapped. And so, yeah, going to that place was the first time I've ever been to a therapist. And now that was like, don't get me wrong, that was a very extreme, like, here's your first encounter with a therapist. Like here's your first experience. You're locked in a room at night to sleep, and we let you out during the day. And again, don't get me wrong. I do believe in those places. I believe that those places help and save lives. I'm just telling the story as I remember it from my experience. Now, don't get me wrong. The staff were amazing. There was one guy I couldn't sleep one night. And so I'm knocking on my window, because they give you a little window you can see out into the day room. And opens the door, he's like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Listen, I'm sure you hear this all the time. I don't belong here. Like, I can't sleep. I don't belong here. Like, just let me out for a bit, man. Like, I need someone to shoot the shit with." And this guy actually pulled up a chair, and we shot the shit for about an hour, if my memory serves me correct. And went to sleep, and yeah, he's a cool guy. So yes, I believe in those places. But also when that's your first experience with mental health, it can be intimidating, is what I'm trying to say. And so my own personal struggles with that is like, holy shit, I'm essentially I'm locked up. I, okay, I'm not trying to compare it to prison, but you do get locked in your room at night. So in a sense, I think my brain put two and two together to make a really weird four. And so when I look back on my time, I always say I was locked up because you only have so much freedom. And I think the whole 47 hours I was there, I don't think I went outside once. They didn't let us. Yeah, so when that is your first experience with mental health, it can be jarring. But did my time, got in, got out, did 2 days of outpatient care after the 2 days in. And then from there, I got my first therapist, something Martinez in Muskegon. Uh, cool guy. Helped me with a bunch. Helped me with processing that time in grippy sock jail. And so some of the things I've noticed at the start, I hated it. I would sit in this guy's room and he'd be like, hey, like, are we talking today? How you feeling? Because I would just sit there and be like, I'm not talking to you. Fuck you. Like, who do you think you are to think you can help me? You don't know me. Like, I had the typical teenage angst response to therapy. Fuck you. You don't know me. But after continuing to go and continued, I'm sorry, I'm fidgeting. I just cannot figure out a good fucking place for this. God damn it. Shit pisses me off. Hoping to upgrade soon. But for now. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Sorry about that. We've lost the cover. Fuck the cover. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. So yeah. Very much so had the typical teenage fuck you. But what I noticed is the more I kept going, he wouldn't quit. Like, don't get me wrong, he gets paid to sit there and listen. He doesn't get paid to care. And the more I went to him, the more I was like, shit, you fucking care, don't you? And so I finally started opening up, started talking about why I was there, why I was in grippy sock vacation. It's kind of the stuff that was happening to me at the time. And he played a really big part in helping me to get my head on straight. And so I think he I think he's a big reason as to why I am still a believer. And don't get me wrong, I've had numerous therapists since him. Some help, some help. But I think therapists are kind of like certain friends. They're there for a season. You use them as you need them, but once they stop being useful, you move on. Like a season. Don't know if that was a good explanation or not. But anyways, to pretty much wrap this up on my men and men's distaste for therapy. My solution is just, even if it's not a therapist, talk to your boys. I'm so serious. I think a lot of people are. No, I don't think. I know. Because I see it in my. I see glimpses of it in my own friend group. I think men are. Like I said, we don't like talking about it. We just don't. It's not something we find effective, necessary, or attractive. And what I mean by that is, I feel like once. Okay, these are not my feelings. These are what I think the average man thinks. That telling a woman he's in therapy is a sign of weakness, uh, not being good enough, or having issues, which we are being taught are all red flags. Oh God, you know what? Nope, we're gonna breeze past this because if I start talking about red flags, I will go on a tangent. But no, seriously, my solution doesn't have to be a therapist. Talk to your friends. Talk to your partner. Talk to your parents. Talk to anybody. Just talk. Because little do you know, taking 5 to 10 minutes out of your day to talk to someone, you could actually save a life. I'm not saying that to sound dramatic, to sound this, that, or the other. I'm being so for real. That just talking to someone could be the reason they stick around another day, another week, another month. And I think that's obviously so important because, as I've stated, the suicide rate in men is too high. It's too much, and I just want to be part of the solution. And I'd like to think that all my boys know they can come to me because they know I'll listen. So if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you don't think that's the kind of friend you are, I think you need to start doing some talking. Now, how did we get these stigmas? I think these stigmas have been around since the dawn of man. And I think we need to stop putting such a negative label on men getting help. And again, I'm only speaking on behalf of men. I believe that the more we tell somebody, hey, you're in therapy, that's weird, or why, that is going to kill someone someday. And so I think for the betterment of society, I think we got to change the script. I think we have been using the same script for way too long now, and it's not working. Suicide rate in men, that it doesn't change. So I think now more than ever, we need to take matters into our own hands. We need to be like, hey, man to man, it's okay to get help. Or, oh, man to man, you're in therapy? That's good, brother. We gotta stop. We gotta stop being negative on the topic. Because seriously, I know. Fuck. I know from personal experience what suicidal ideation can do. There have been times I've definitely wanted to kill myself. And I'll be so for real and look right at the camera when I say this. My family and my friends are the reason I'm still here. And I think that's why a lot of men are, unfortunately. I think there's a lot of guys out there who are hurting, who are in pain, and I think a lot of them are simply hanging around because they don't want their mother and father or their siblings to have to bury them. I believe that wholeheartedly. That they are around simply so their family doesn't bury them. Now, does that sound like living to you? No. That's why we need to flip the script. Change, turn the chapter. We need a new era where men talking about their feelings is actually praised. I'm trying not to get worked up because like I said, I'm a man. I've been through all this shit. I know personally the struggles with stigmatisms and people looking at you funny. I mean, fuck. Uh, you think going back to school after people found out you were in where I was easy? Fuck no. You think I didn't get looks? You didn't think I saw the glances in the hallways? You're all just lucky I didn't say anything. Because, yeah, when people find out, they may not say something to your face, but that's the stigmas. That's the stigmatisms. People giving you a second glance or a side eye, even if something as subtle as that. I've been there. And I do believe that all the negative stigmatisms around therapy and men getting help and men speaking up about their feelings, I believe it's genuinely keeping men from getting help. And that's fucked up. And I'm sorry if that's not sexy to talk about. I don't care anymore. I'd rather see more men live than try to betray what you want. I'd rather see more men happy than try to fit into this little bubble that certain people think is attractive, respectable, because it's not working. Now, am I saying it's going to be easy? Fuck no. But nothing in life worth doing is easy. And that's just how it is. And now I kind of want to double back on the me, because this is kind of my story and whatnot. So, accepting what has happened. Don't get me wrong. I was in denial for I was in denial right up until the girlfriend left. Because that's another thing that the brain does. The brain will not let you accept what is hard. At least in my experience. So, as much as it sucked, as much as I hated it, and as much as it tore a hole the size of Texas inside me, her leaving probably the best thing could have happened to me. Because now I'm able to be like, okay, this is what's going on. This is what I have. This is the plan of attack for what I have. This is the game plan. Okay. Well, let's follow it. And so obviously you're going to have ups and downs. Because I think after she left, I barely came out of my room, barely eaten, and it took me a while just to get back to normal. Whatever that normal was to me at the time, I know it took me a hell of a long time to get there. And yeah. Nowadays, though, nowadays I'd like to think I have a very good head on my shoulders when it comes to, I know what I have, I know what I need to do, and I know how I'm gonna be successful. Now, as I've stated, you can know that. You can know the steps you need to take. Taking them's the hard part. Especially for me. I really struggled, obviously, with the whole coping and understanding. Because obviously, when you first get a diagnosis as such as mine, you're like, what is it? What does it do? And so I think, obviously, understanding is important. Because, like, whatever you have, gotta read up on it. You gotta know about it. Know the enemy. And so, when it comes to accepting my own situation, coping and understanding were huge for me. Because I had to understand what I had. Okay, it's agoraphobia. What's the definition? How many people have it? How many people struggle with it? And so that was the understanding. Now the coping, that was a bit harder. That took therapists telling me, you can't leave your house right now. Like, you can't. That's just, it is what it is. So now how do we get you out of the house? And how do we get you still living a life inside the confines of your home? And that was something I needed to cope with. And be like, okay, this is new. This is a new chapter. This is a new beginning. And yeah, it wasn't easy. It didn't just happen overnight. It took a lot. It can be very draining trying to make sense of what's going on in your mind. I mean, it can just be tidal wave after tidal wave, and it's not easy. It's not fun. It's not sexy. But luckily for me, like I said, I got a real good family, amazing friends, a new woman who I believe sees me for me and has really been a motivator. She does not let me have much grace. And now other people might be like, well, that's controlling. I believe we all need a little bit of control from others. Because I believe she keeps me honest, she keeps me in line, she keeps me humble. And I don't know about you guys and your partners, but if your partners aren't helping you to get better, gotta move on. You gotta find, well, obviously, if you find yourself first, then find someone who's gonna lift you up, motivate you, give you that swift kick in the ass. And so, yeah, luckily for me, I got really good people in my corner. That, again, I know, like I said, I don't talk to everyone every day, but I do still know I can call up a buddy of mine right now who I haven't talked to in months, and he'll be like, "How you doing, man?" And I believe that with those friendships, those relationships, and my family, I do believe I have all the puzzle pieces to be successful in this journey. And yeah, I mean, this goes for anybody and everybody. Mental health or not, I still believe it's important for the well being of just people in general. Reach out to your friends, check in on your friends, because yeah, you might get together with somebody for hour out of the day, and they might be the funniest motherfucker in the group, or they might be the most positive motherfucker. But what do you really know about him when he goes home? When that door shuts behind him? Do you think he's still cracking jokes to himself? Do you still think he's that positive guy you just spent the hour with? Now maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. And that's what I'm trying to get across. You don't know either. So check in. Reach out. Be present in your friendships and your relationships. Be the friend that everyone feels safe enough to confide in. Because, like I said, going back to men and therapy, it doesn't have to be a therapist. I think some of the best advice gotten, Jesus Christ, some of the best advice I've gotten has come from a friend or my cousin or my family. Now, again, I'm not trying to say therapists don't help. They do. They absolutely do. I've loved every therapist I've had. I've just moved on for different reasons. But I do think at the end of the day, yeah, your therapist knows you. They get about an hour with you a week if that's the route you want to take. Or they get to know you an hour every couple weeks. But your friends, your family, they know the inner workings. They might not let on to it. They might not tell you straight up, hey, I see you thinking. Talk to me. What's up? They know. They know. So, hell, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes a day, text a friend. Hey, how are you? Genuinely. I think some of you would be surprised at the outcomes of those conversations. I think some of you would benefit from the outcomes of some of those conversations. And I think that if we all took the time, again, 5 to 10 minutes a day, reach out, talk to a friend. I'm not saying that like you guys need to sit on a phone call for an hour talking about all the feelings in the world and all this, that, and the other. No, just check in. Be like, hey, hope all's well. Sent. That right there could even brighten up someone's day. That right there can make someone feel seen, feel like, oh, he's in my corner, or oh, she's in my corner. Because the more people you have backing you, better odds you'll be successful. So if I leave you guys with anything, if you've taken anything away from this at all, be present and just check in on people. No one's saying, I'm not saying, hey, you, go out and get a therapist right now. Because again, it's not my journey. It's not my story. It's your guys's. And I think that you would benefit from taking 5 to 10 minutes by yourself and really checking in with yourself, being like, hey, how are we? Are we doing okay? And then if you think you need a therapist, awesome, amazing. I'm so proud of you. But if you're able to look inside yourself, be like, I'm good. That too is amazing. So either way, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. I'm going to try to keep this schedule of posting every Sunday. Obviously, due to mental health, I can't promise that I'm going to be successful at that, but I'll try my best. And yeah, like I said, be present, and hopefully I get better at outros.